Aloha, you beautiful sacks and mother fathers. Welcome in another episode of the Side Hustle Podcast. Get here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the socials, and, of course, audio streaming over on Spotify, iHeartRadio app, all that good stuff. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you, as always. AA, how was your week, man?
It was good.
We had a great weekend.
Yeah, say all the sloth, too.
Slothy.
Yeah, slothy.
You're terrible with that, by the way. How dare you disrespect him? If he didn't sleep 21 hours a day, he'd kick your ass right now.
He should have went to our tailgate show, but that's okay.
Yeah, well.
So he was sleeping.
He doesn't travel
with
well.
us.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't travel.
He's heavy. That's why he's on my back.
I understand. Weekend was phenomenal. Weekend was great. I think we had a great. In fact, the entire LPV team was at Exodus Pro Wrestling this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What a time. What a time that was. Matter of fact, let's just get right to it. A sweet moment of the week brought to you by BA Sweeties. And there it is.
Who's that buff guy on the left, and then who's that short guy on the right?
Well, let's see here. I know. Oh, that's Jacob right there. I don't know where Pete was sitting there.
I think they are in the background.
Sitting there, and then others. But I'll tell you what, we took this picture, before the show? It was packed.
Yeah.
Sold out. It was your first time at an Exodus Pro Wrestling show. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. And, and let's just be clear, too. We don't work for them.
No.
So, I'm not saying that the show was perfect. For example, I wish Chelsea was on the show.
I could have done without the chainsaw thing. I think that was the only thing that I was like, okay, because it smelled like gas in there for 20 minutes afterwards.
It did. That was
other than that, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head, man. It was a great experience, and we're really thankful for EC3 and company for kind of letting us come out, and then obviously hanging out with them afterwards too, which was awesome. And I mean, yeah, my first independent show since I trained.
Really?
Out in Lorain County. That's the last independent show I went to for Mega Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been a long time. It's been like 9 years since I'd been to an independent show. And, I mean, the wrestling was good. The storytelling was good. And, of course, the championship match at the end was phenomenal. And really
Richard Holiday's mustache is the real deal.
Yeah, and he fucking hates us. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we tried. They had the cool thing about these independent shows. They do the Exodus does a great job with the meet and greets and stuff. So they're in the back afterwards. Mm-hmm. We try to talk to Richard Holiday. Boy, he was healing it up. Oh man, he was healing it up.
Why do you look like you're about to star in the next Boys to Men trilogy series? What's going on there? Look like you're about to tell me why you love me. You're about to just do your whole thing.
We're ready to go.
I'm just like, huh? And you're all serious.
I'm locked in. Look at that.
You just got out.
I know. I was also told, so our buddy Eli took the photo. I was told to not let him take photos again.
Oh, is it bad? Oh, Rebecca told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It's an Android thing.
Yeah.
For her. I will admit.
It is a little fuzzy. The light's a little off in there. He could have used a little bit of editing. Then again, we probably could have done that too if we'd.
Well, I think we had a time limit though too. All right, you gotta get back to your seats.
Yeah, because they were starting the show.
They were getting to it. Oh, our buddy, Mike from State Farm.
Yeah.
That's. So we've been working on some things behind the scenes. We'll tell you guys more about perhaps what's to come on future shows. But we had a extensive meeting with Mike from State Farm, who not only is a member of Exodus Pro Wrestling, but he's a real State Farm insurance agent.
Yeah.
Here in Cleveland, in the Cleveland Heights area. And Kyle and we both met up with Mike from State Farm for a meeting that was supposed to last 20 minutes.
Yeah, maybe half hour tops. Ended up going an hour and a half. The dude can talk. He is awesome. We love his personality. And apparently now, too, he's giving this wrestling thing a go. He issued an open challenge. I'm sure you guys have seen it on social media. If you follow Exodus or you follow EC3 on social media, he's officially done this. He's apparently training now and getting ready for it. We have no idea what's to come with this. We're hoping to maybe get him on a future show to kind of figure out what his plans are. I think the next show is November 16th for Exodus. So we'll see if is he going to be on that show? Is there someone who's been kind of put him in his crosshairs? We have no idea. We're looking forward to see how that story is told, but Mike's obviously awesome and possibly working with him in the future too when it comes to our show, but really excited to see what his next steps are.
We were talking to him about his training. And he was like, wait a minute, I don't know how I'm over. I'm like, dude, like, first, you're an insurance agent, so you can obviously talk. You can obviously do different things. But, like, I'm like, his character is, his personality in general is crazy. But his character, unbelievable. The fact that you can be an insurance agent, you're on the show, man, you locked in.
I mean,
and he grew up with EC3 and all.
He did, yeah. He's been friends with them for decades, and I mean, like, this is an opportunity for him. And what have I always said when it comes to wrestling? If the story you're telling, if the person you're portraying is an extended version of yourself or has truth to it, if there's truth in there, people are going to buy into it. He is a legit State Farm insurance agent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what he does for his day job.
Yeah.
So that's why it's bringing people in. He is just like you and me out there working normal job, doing his thing. We know EC3's been to the top of the mountain as far as working for the biggest companies and done all these things. He's the current NWA champion. He's obviously
1 year, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations.
NWA champion. 1
for
year.
That too, yeah. Multiple-time world heavyweight champion over in TNA, all that stuff. But I mean, now you've got this guy who we know is just, hey, I don't necessarily have aspirations to go to WWE at some point or whatever. This is always just the dream I've wanted to accomplish, and I'm going to issue an open challenge and see what happens. We'll see if someone accepts it. We'll keep an eye out too, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I hope he comes on the show. You know, his story is amazing, and if he does come on the show, I think you guys will have a great time. Great time learning about him. There's just a show in general, and we'll talk a little bit more about maybe not just a show, but just independent local wrestling in general. Because again, we have received incredible response from our local audience here in Cleveland. It's amazing to me, and you've mentioned it several times, Kyle. It's amazing to me how EC3, he legitimately right now could be in AEW, could be thriving in WWE on the main roster, and NXT could be thriving. And he has chosen to lead this path in NWA. Almost got, if you want to explain it in ways, maybe like a franchisee kind of a guy. Like, hey, I'm the guy. I can still wrestle, still put in, but he enjoys the training. He enjoys the creative. He's learning the business, and he is thriving off of seeing young guys. In fact, this show that we went to, Journey 2, this is what this was. This show featured only Exodus Pro Wrestling competitors.
Yeah.
The entire roster was Exodus Pro Wrestler. There was no help, none of that. Like, this was the NWA territory. Really cool. And it's streamed on the NWA channel. I believe after 1 day, 13,000 views.
Nice.
And counting. I think last check, 16 or 17K.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's when you put together good shows like this, even when it's independence, I mean, you're able to draw some eyes to it. And obviously the NWA has that viewership power. It has the name recognition that you would expect. And I only expect more things from them. I mean, because they do a great job. So
yeah, they do. And we'll talk more about that coming. Got Pete to come out to see the show.
We did.
It was just amazing. Yeah. Good stuff.
He tried to hop in the ring. I had to pull him down.
Yeah, he's trying to get some little character work. You know, we gotta work on some stuff. But he's been training on these football games. But we'll get a little bit of work. But we'll talk more about Exodus coming up. Our sweet moment of the week. If you have a wrestling promotion in your hometown that's like, all right, we need to support it, please. But here in Cleveland, we're lucky to have a professionally ran local promotion, regional promotion like Exodus Pro here in town, and that is our sweet moment of the week. Brought to you by B.A. Sweeties.
Love it.
Now, little note here about BA Sweeties. It is Labor Day weekend coming up, and BA Sweeties will be open, but you see there's special hours for all three. The candy store, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
Golfland, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you want to get that last beat down of your child before they go back to class. Or vice versa. It's been, been a couple weeks of school.
You want
now.
to legally whoop your kid's ass one more time.
10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Labor Day. And, of course, the soda shop, get some phenomenal milkshakes, get a whole different, branch of pops and, and whatnot. 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Labor Day. So all weekend long, BA Sweeties will be open, and those are the special hours. But got the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Opportunity to check out BA Sweeties.
It's always a great time. Get an extra day, extra day off with the kiddos, even if you just, looking for something to do. You see the hours right there. Good chance to go try all the different things you can at BA Sweetie, whether, again, it's all the different types of soda in the bottle, obviously, the old school soda, which is awesome, the different kinds of candy, obviously. Double A mentioned it, obviously, the soda shop with the 30 different kinds of milkshakes. And putt. You can't go wrong. It's an established part of this city of Northeast Ohio, really, honestly, a landmark in the country and really all the continent. Almost 3/4 of a century.
Amazing.
74 years in business, BA Sweetie, over off Brook Park Road. Take that Ridge Road exit off of 480. Turn left on the Brook Park Road towards Pearl. If you go past Pearl, well, you need to turn back around.
And you will see, if I could do this right there. The lollipop. It's a little bigger. When you see this lollipop, you're there.
Mm-hmm.
BA Sweeties. It looks just like this, too. We do not advise you to climb this lollipop, but you could buy this inside.
My co-host isn't any fun. If you want to climb a lollipop, do it. Now, mind you, it is technically private property and you could get arrested, but what's the fun in just living a vanilla life? Sometimes you need a little twist. All right?
Speaking of twists and chocolates and turns, here's all the twists and turns and chocolate you can get at BA Sweeties. Kyle was not messing around either. It is the largest candy store in North America. Oh, and I know it's Labor Day weekend coming up. There is another holiday that's right around the corner that's a pretty big deal in the candy community. So you might want to start stocking up right now, or at least prep and get the candies that you like and try it out before the kids get to them.
Yom Kippur?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that, exactly. But yeah, check it out, BA Sweeties, the special hours on Labor Day.
Oh, Rosh Hashanah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got you covered.
September's right around the corner, man. Tell you what.
I just realized in my day job, I had to, I need to start up the September folder. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's so unbelievable that I couldn't believe it.
Could not believe it.
Yeah.
But I can believe BA Sweeties, and I can believe I can't do this with the. There it is. Giant lollipop right there.
It's tiny on your screen, but it's giant in person. Go see for yourself.
It really is. We're not joking. Speaking of not joking, I want to lead with this. We'll get to. So, this is tricky. We're gonna get to AEW.
Do we have to?
In a few minutes. But it's gonna be tricky, as you know. We tape on Wednesdays. The show is out on Thursday morning.
We're not missing much.
We'll talk about that.
Let's see how AEW will fail to get more viewers after another hot pay-per-view tonight, Wednesday.
There you go.
Man, just kick me in the dick while you're at it.
I am so intrigued by this story. For whatever reason, WWE did not post Hendry with Ethan Page from Tuesday night.
Because that's not the money.
Is this the money?
Yep.
These two.
Mm-hmm. And not for the NXT title.
I like it.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, man.
But let's set the scene here for a hot second with this story. Obviously, Hendry and Ethan Page, one-on-one match for the NXT Championship on Sunday at No Mercy, their pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Trick Williams announced at the end of NXT the other night that he will be the special guest referee. Now, I got a few questions out of this, but first, your initial thoughts on the main event for NXT and how we got here.
I think it'd be wild if a TNA talent won the NXT Championship.
How about that? That's where I wanted to go.
I mean, this working relationship has to be fantastic if he does, because, I mean, God forbid something goes sour. And then all of a sudden, what do you do with the NXT Championship?
This is actually one of the classic one-shot. Can you go back to Kyle for a second? That is one of the greatest one-shots we have had on our show. Do you believe?
That's the meme.
Man.
That's the meme.
That's just amazing.
No, I mean, like, the real feud is obviously Trick and Joe Hendry. I think eventually they're trying to get Trick to have range, and Joe's not going to get booed. So, I mean, this is a thing now where they can kind of flip Trick, I think, in this match. Have him cost Joe, even if it's an accident, whatever it is. But then, or it'll be like a thing. It'll bubble up at the end. Trick will cost him. He'll attack Joe Hendry. That's the money match for them. Whatever the Survivor Series pay-per-view is for NXT, PLE, whatever, I imagine that'd be the match. One of the big four, have those two. And Ethan Page, I mean, there's other people that can compete for the NXT Championship right now. I mean, he's still kind of early in his reign. And again, losing to a TNA superstar, I doubt that's going to happen. So there's a lot working against Joe Hendry in this match, but I'm happy he's there. It seems like in TNA, he never really got to the very tippy top until recently. And even then, it was kind of like, okay, he's like in a fatal four-way or some bullshit. This is a one-on-one opportunity for the top championship on a brand, so we can appreciate that. And the sad part is his contract runs through 2025 in TNA, because if it didn't, I mean, obviously WWE would be all over him. He'd be in the door right now, ready to go. They'd sign his ass to a big contract, and he'd be on the main roster pretty soon. But, I mean, again, that's where the money is.
Can I present a case of how Hendry can win the championship?
He can. I just don't know if it's going to be if WWE wants to do that with TNA.
So let me present this case. When I look at Joe Hendry, to be perfectly honest, I do not think of TNA. I think of just him. I think of like a top tier, as far as over, right? As far as the gimmick and everything, you know, the social media. Like he got over on his own, to be perfectly honest. And then him being on NXT has really amplified his stardom. But I look at a couple of things. I know the tradition of Triple H / Shawn Michaels booking is to have long-term champions. But there's one show that is in mind where I'm thinking, wait a minute, this could work. NXT will be on the CW in a month. I think at the top of October. Whatever the first Tuesday of October. It might be October 1st. I'm pinning that date. And I think on that date, we're getting a triple threat championship match. Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, and Trick Williams in a triple threat for the championship. Now, how do you get there? I think for the next month, Joe Hendry winning the NXT championship, some kind of shenanigans, interference, or not interference, but something with Trick Williams or Ethan Page taking off Trick Williams throughout the match, and then Trick Williams, you know, doing some kind of special referee spot or something that ultimately will lead to Joe Hendry, you know, winning the NXT championship. For a month, NXT, if he wins the title, the buzz will be unbelievable. The outside buzz of him having the championship, the outside buzz of him being on television for a week. Because, again, I think his stardom right now is bigger than TNA. I think if you're WWE, you're Shawn Michaels, NXT, I think they're maximizing right now his stardom, at least for the month.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, in October, when they debut on the CW, You have your rematch. Hendry goes in as champion. You got Ethan Page there. If you want a shocker, look at how Trick Williams right now is looking at, you could say he's looking at the championship. Right there, right behind us. You want your heel turn with Trick Williams? You perhaps do that on the first show on the CW.
I don't know. I think if you're going to make the show big, Ethan Page doesn't need to be in it. I think it should just be Hendry and Williams for the NXT Championship. You don't need Ethan Page in there. No offense to Ethan Page. I think he's doing great. But, I mean, like, those are the two names.
Oh, my thing is you'll get there.
No, you're talking about making that show big, then there doesn't need to be a triple threat. It only needs to be those two. Those are the two biggest names in NXT right now.
My question would only be, I don't disagree that those two are the two top names. My only question is, how do you get there?
Well, so if Hendry wins the championship, he said he would give Trick a championship match.
Okay.
So there you go.
And you just do it there.
Yeah, you just say, hey, first show on CW, we're moving off of whatever the streaming or whatever it is, whatever they're doing now, Peacock or I don't know what the fuck.
USA Network.
Oh, I forgot they're doing USA. We're moving over new TV contract. Well, championship match that night, and it's going to be the two biggest names. That makes sense. They're going to have CM Punk there. They're going to have whoever else coming to the fucking show, Cody Rhodes or someone else is coming the following week or whatever. I mean, that makes sense. Make it as big as you can. And again, Ethan Page in there doesn't scream to me as well as these two just going one-on-one. So he can get involved and it can be a screwy finish.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And I wouldn't have a problem with that. And maybe to your point, if it's a going into the CW match, if it's a babyface versus babyface match,
it won't matter at that point, because they're both going to be. I mean, there's ways to see, put dissension in there when they build to the match. They can have promo segments, whatever, and Trick is kind of. He's getting a little dark all of a sudden. Why is he saying some things like? Why is he acting a little different? Maybe he starts wearing some dark colors again. He kind of starts, getting more back into the old persona when he had with Mello and everything too, and then fully just dives into this new heel version of himself. Maybe the week before the match. It gives you a couple weeks to build towards it. I mean, there's a story there, or they can just keep it how it is and just, hey, we respect each other, but I need the title, man. I feel like it should be mine. I lost it in a multi-man match or whatever it was, or by some bullshit, so I need this. I never actually got pinned for it. I want my title back, that kind of thing. So, I mean, he's got an argument either way, and if they book the match, they book the match. So, but it also means Joe's got to win it. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I think I would be surprised but not shocked.
Yeah, it's tricky, though, because...
It's tricky.
I like it.
Uh-huh.
Booker hates Joe Hendry, though. So...
I wonder why.
You brought up something at the very beginning of this, though. This is the new WWE. I get it. Vince McMahon's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Do they want a TNA? Like, he is not signed with WWE. He is not under WWE contract. And as you mentioned, he's locked in with TNA through next year.
Yeah.
Are they comfortable for a day, for a week, for a month, maybe longer, rolling with a TNA contracted wrestler as their champion, as the top star on their show?
It's one thing to do crossovers and have matches, but it's another thing to actually give that person the championship from your show and say, hold it for a month. I mean, like, it depends how good that relationship is, obviously, between those two companies. I mean, Endeavor and whoever owns TNA now. But, I mean, it's a lot to process, and it's definitely different. But then again, we've seen this be done the wrong way with like New Japan and AEW when Moxley was the New Japan champion or whatever it was and was defending the title on Dynamite. None of the matches made sense and there was no stories.
Yeah.
At least they have a chance to build to something if they decide to go this route. But I think either way, we're going to get that match between if Trick just turns full heel and costs Joe the match for the title, which would be very aligned with Ethan Page's character at this point, winning by some bullshit.
And they've been talking about that on the show, too.
Exactly. Or Joe does win the championship. He gives Trick that match Shawn Michaels says, yeah, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it big. We're going to do it the first night we're on the CW because they want to pop a rating.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, and they'll have 4 weeks to build to the match. I mean, so there you go. I don't know, or however long. I think maybe it's the second week of September or October. I'm not sure when they're doing it, but you're right. It's sometime in the beginning or middle of October.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's really going to be up to the powers that be, man. This is a decision. This is why I'm glad I'm not in the room, because
you know what though?
I want to buy him out of his contract and just put him on the
know.
WWE roster at that point.
Honestly, I think he is so over at this point. I expect to see Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, he'll be there
in the match.
Yeah,
Like
they'll have TNA superstars go up, and he'll be one of them.
that man.
Well, yeah, Jordan Grace can go into the women's. Why can't he go to the men's? Yeah, you don't know as long as he's going to last, but I mean, he'll.
You know, if Mickey James can bring the Knockouts Championship.
Listen, don't you talk bad about my girl.
I will not. I will not.
I need me some hardcore country. Sorry, Nick Aldis.
Look, WrestleMania 22 is a very underrated WrestleMania.
The build between her and Trish to WrestleMania 22 is underrated.
Mickey and Trish is one of the best rivalries no one ever talks about.
Never forget when John Cena actually just brought out a thong and said, "You left this at my house last night," to Mickey James. That was just a segment.
Yes, it was.
He's fresh off his divorce.
Oh man.
Did you leave something in my?
Yeah,
she grabbed that shit so quick. She made Usain Bolt look slow.
Oh man.
I was like,
Man.
good God.
That was some good stuff. I'll save it for. Remind me during rapid fire
I'll forget.
if John Cena should win championship number 17 during rapid fire.
Didn't we already talk about that?
Well, he has some thoughts that I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
To summarize.
We're
that.
adding to the story. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we're adding. The podcast land is adding to that question, the story, in there. But
Cool.
I'll tell you what, his involvement, both of their involvements, obviously, is good news for NXT, and it says a lot when, in my personal opinion, I know WWE has the Berlin show this weekend. I honestly think this is the hottest storyline at the moment, right here, right now, in WWE at this moment. Will Joe Hendry win the title? Trick Williams' involvement?
It's the hottest storyline in WWE at the moment. At the moment.
Right now.
So they'll wait for SmackDown and everything else to kind of come to fruition, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see what's going on, but off to a good start
do
there.
We fucking have to. God.
It was their WrestleMania. Oh, let me just skip to the next slide because you're covering up a star, by the way. You're covering up 2, maybe 3 stars.
Doesn't matter.
Right
It still has too many.
You're covering up greatness here.
6.5 stars. I told you a stat that you did not know.
You did.
Before Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him at this point, was in AEW, he had zero 5-star matches. WrestleMania, what was it, 40? No, it was 30. When he competed twice in one night and won that triple threat. One of the best moments in WrestleMania history. Not a 5-star match.
And earlier that night, beating Triple H.
That was a good match.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. Like, unbelievable. His match with Kofi Kingston at the WrestleMania 36 or whatever it was. Not a 5-star match. All the matches Bryan had all the way through. Since he's went to AEW, 9 5-star matches. It's bias. It's bullshit. And anyone that takes actual credence or value in these things right here, garbage. They mean nothing by someone who does not know dick about wrestling. It's literally an opinion. I can go online right now and post stars. It means just the same. Just the fucking same. The only one that's accurate out of these, maybe, is Tony Storm and Mariah May.
That 1.5?
Yeah. Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker wasn't 2.5 stars. I'm sorry. Hook and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho couldn't shit a 4.5-star match anymore. He's done. The Young Bucks, FTR, and
You won't
Acclaim
be
being
invited
5
on his
stars.
cruise.
Garbage. I don't care. I don't like fucking cruises. The Casino Gauntlet. I would have done 4.5 because of the surprise factor. Just with Ricochet debuting, I'm hoping he does well because he's going to get Ospreay at some point. Maybe they can have an actual good match and tell a story. Who the fuck knows?
That's if he stays off of social media.
Ospreay and MJF, not a 6-star fucking match. I'm sorry. I love MJF. He's one of my favorite wrestlers nowadays. No. Jack Perry and Darby Allin being a 5-star match. Jack Perry couldn't have a 5-star match if fucking CM Punk closed all 5 of his fingers and actually hit him in the face and he saw stars. He wouldn't see 5. He'd see like 3. Garbage.
Cry me a river.
Fucking garbage. And then Danielson and Strickland, 6.5 fucking stars. What kind of shrooms are you taking, Dave Meltzer, and where can I get them? So I can see as many fucking stars as you can. You emancipated cuck. This is bullshit. This is actual bullshit. Like, seriously. This pay-per-view was nowhere near as good as you think it was. And when we get the fucking viewership for Dynamite later in the week, and they draw the same amount of fucking people as they did before, I want you to eat ass. Bend Brian Alvarez over and lick his fucking cinnamon ring, because you are an idiot.
Can that get a star rating? It's a 6 stars.
Do you have any comments on this? Because I want to move the fuck on. I don't even want to talk about it.
Sorry. Let's take this at face value. Let's say...
Oh, you really had something to say. I thought you were going to say no and move on.
No, let's take this at face value. Let's say that all of these matches were that damn good. Okay? I'm just laying it out. Let's just take it at face value. Okay? That Jack Perry and Darby Allin are better than Bret Hart and Randy Savage. Let's say that Danielson and Swerve Strickland had a match better than Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. Let's just say that Danielson's championship victory was bigger than WrestleMania 30. Let's just say that Chris Jericho can still go.
Why are we saying this? Don't lie to the people.
We're already there, brother. I'm
not fucking there. And don't brother me, Hulk Hogan. I'm not fucking there. No. Sorry, I'll Randy Savage you. No, this is no.
Let's just say, at face value, all this is true. All right?
You have a point somewhere waiting for you to make it.
Why are the TV shows so bad?
They don't give a fuck about telling stories because storytelling is not a priority. There's a reason why someone like EC3, who has been to every corner of the wrestling universe at this point, thinks Dave Meltzer's full of shit.
So I guess my point is,
see the list behind me.
So I think there are two different audiences for AEW. There's the pay-per-view only audience. If you're the pay-per-view only audience of AEW, you think they're in great shape because they are delivering. They're over-exaggerated, clearly, obviously, but they are delivering good matches.
There's no 5-star matches on that fucking show.
I understand that, but they are delivering good matches. Like if you just watch the pay-per-view, they're clearly delivering in the ring. They are clearly delivering.
I would debate that.
Well, we can debate these ratings. I think these ratings are unbelievable. But if
out of all these people, who's an actual good wrestler out of any of these? Maybe 2? Ospreay and Danielson. I'll throw MJF in there.
I think MJF showed up.
But even then,
he showed up.
Heel MJF's a better wrestler than face MJF.
Yeah, he showed up.
But, like, honestly, decent to good, but there's nothing great here. There isn't. There's a reason why they draw 600,000 fucking people a week, and Raw on a bad week draws over 1 million or 1.2 million more.
But that's the difference, though. The difference, though, what I'm saying is, if you only watch pay-per-view, you think this is great. If you take the entire picture, which is our job, is what we do, then obviously it's a different story. There's a reason why WWE has sold out 54 shows this year, has sold out 37 television shows this year.
And they can't even get 3,000 people on a fucking main television show.
It's Triple H. We had the question last week about comparing eras and whatnot, and we could talk about the Attitude Era, fine, but the essence of the Attitude Era was that every member of the roster had a story. Everyone, from Stone Cold to Val Venus, everyone had a story.
The dick pill guy had a story.
He had a story. Mark Henry, his sexual chocolate, had a story. They had a build-up to him giving birth to Mae Young's hand. Okay? There was the story
It was dumb as shit, but when you have so much good stuff on the show and you have one thing that draws you away, again, okay, one thing. Not half the matches, not 3/4 of the matches that don't make any fucking sense and have no reason why they should be fighting for anything. That's why he has 14,000 titles in AEW.
I will tell you this, though, all kidding aside. And I know I was egging on for show purposes, but all kidding aside.
You could have told me we could move on, and I would have been so happy.
No, but...
I may have kissed you.
Please don't.
I didn't say in the mouth. That forehead, cheek.
Oh,
I don't want you to get in trouble, Rebecca.
Oh, I was watching... I don't know if you ever watched The Best Man. It's an old movie from like the late 90s. One of the characters on the show, his go-to move was the forehead kiss. He was trying to be in a committed relationship, but he saw the old flame and delivered the forehead kiss.
So you're trying to tell me you want me to kiss your forehead?
It is the kiss of death. Do not, fans, if you are trying to make sure you're in a committed relationship, do not give another friend of the opposite sex the forehead kiss. Don't.
How about
do
you
it.
just don't kiss anyone of the opposite sex when you're in a relationship?
That's not fun.
That's not fun.
That's not fun.
Okay.
Let's
so you can tongue punch your friend's mouth, but not if they're the opposite sex.
No.
So you and Eli after this are gonna go make out, and it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be intense.
Okay.
I didn't say fun.
It's gonna be so intense, and you're not even camping.
No camping.
Yeah.
No camping. Open doors.
I say shit just to see Pete roll his eyes behind the screen.
Open doors. But
the door's on a 10.
What the hell was I saying? Anywho,
I wanted to get you off topic so we could stop talking about this bullshit.
No, but I do think this is important because there are some people who are buying into this. AEW
less and less every day.
I understand, but something's working because AEW has added another stadium show in February of next year in Australia. They're up to 11 pay-per-views now. Now I'm on record as saying that they have got to at least, if for the pay-per-view audience only, if you want good vibes for your company, I really believe they have to get those pay-per-views on Max or one of these other streamers. People are not going to be able to pay $50, $60 a month for these pay-per-views legally.
And you're not drawing
legally
more numbers. It'd be one thing of, okay, we're starting to really get competitive and we're over 1 million viewers every week on our show. And we're like, okay, well then, yeah, maybe it makes sense to pay for pay-per-view. But when you have competition who's drawing 3 times more TV and then obviously selling out arenas left and right, has their shit on Peacock for $9-10 a month.
Yeah.
It's not even a contest.
No.
Like their buys should be way more than they are now. You can't even get a quarter of the audience to buy your pay-per-view that watch your show. That's shit. That's bad. People are excited about that number. It's terrible. It's not good.
And the problem now, and this is where bad habits catch up, right? If you're a longtime viewer of our show, you all go back to April, go back to my St. Louis trip, AEW Dynasty. Go back to the episode right after Dynasty. I was so excited to
try to bring it back down.
Watch AEW. I'm like, the pay-per-view was great. The star ratings were exaggerated, but Danielson and Ospreay was a great match. And you know, they had other matches that were pretty good. I'm like, okay, they're turning a corner. And we showed the quarter hours of just shit. And how you could lose, and how in 15 minutes of Dynamite, because Tony doesn't know television and is
doesn't know wrestling.
He doesn't know wrestling.
He's a fan, which is fine, but he's not a booker.
He doesn't know television. Honestly, the match order of this card shows me that he's a fantasy booker and doesn't know crowd control, and television. Like, for example, even with this, so Real Ospreay and MJF, you have that there. Hot match, Real Ospreay's at home, boom.
Open the show with that.
Why? Whatever you say about Mercedes Moné, fine. But she is your big money signee. Why would you put her in the cool down spot after MJF and Ospreay? Like, you should put Jericho and Hook there.
Jericho and Hook shouldn't be on the fucking card.
But my point. I mean, that too.
Make it mean something.
Like, you got to understand that match flow. There are a ton of things that matter. Like, honestly, I just wish I could just go in there and just help. I just want to, because, again, the roster, if coached and well trained,
Produced properly,
can do stuff.
Now the question is, we talk a lot about Tony and everything as well, but there have been a lot of reports, be it fake or bullshit or just them trying to rah-rah, that say, "Oh yeah, it's great, it's collaborative, and Tony listens, and he still obviously makes his decisions, or whatever." And the locker room's great. I don't buy it. But are these people open to criticism, to things like that? Are they even getting any of it?
No and no.
The answer is exactly what he just said. It's a bunch of indie guys and girls that may be talented but don't know what the fuck they're doing. And the people that have been to these major moments, like Brian and some of the other ones, Christian, all these guys too, they're probably, what they're saying, going on deaf ears, or they're saying things and people aren't listening, or they're taking part of the advice, or
they're finally free from WWE. We can do whatever we want. Look at Ricochet for a week. Look at his social media for a week.
He's a
arguing with fans with like 20 followers on Twitter. It's been there a week.
Better than that. I have no interest or desire to spend money to watch this. I have no interest or desire to watch the shows because I know it's all bullshit. And the majority of their fans they had 2-3 years ago, when they were drawing numbers that were over 1 million, they know that too. And if they didn't have the Big Bang Theory leading into their fucking show every week, their numbers would be even worse on average than they are now. By a lot. They lose almost 150,000 people a week in the first 15 minutes of the fucking show. It's one thing if it's like, okay, we have a 3-hour show like Raw, so there's peaks and valleys through 3 hours.
And then
but
the
you
third
still
hour drops.
But you still feel you're still up there. You still have a decent number. These guys, it's bad. It's really bad. And it's a 2-hour show. That's like the sweet spot. That's a good time frame for a show. Ask SmackDown about that. Like, it's nice and neat. You can get a lot of stories in and still feel like the show moves and have some meaningful shit go on. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. They would like a show that's fucking canceled, and they would then watch this fucking guys.
Can I ask you this real quick? It's kind of a 2-part question. When you go to a WWE show today, if you go to a WWE show, who are you paying to see?
I can make a list.
Go ahead.
Off the top of my head?
Off the top of your head.
If I'm going to Raw, I know I'm going to see Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley. You know, even now Liv, she's become a star at this point. I mean, it's a long list. Now fucking Bronson Reed. Like, he's starting to make people go fucking insane because he's getting the Braun Strowman 2016 treatment. Like, the list is huge. When you're going to an AEW show, oh, maybe I'll see Will Ospreay wrestle. No, you won't, because it's during the week. He can't talk that well, and he's not produced well. Daniel Bryan. Yeah, maybe I can watch him. But he's retiring. Well, MJF was on the show, right? I think that's, I'm saying this because I'm a fan of wrestling and I know these people. The average person doesn't know anyone I just fucking mentioned. They have no idea. It's because they don't know what they're doing. Not the talent. The talent are talented. It's the person running the show. I don't want AEW to fail. I've said that 10,000 fucking times on this show. I want Tony Khan to get the fuck out of the way and let someone go in there that knows what they're doing. Shane McMahon could run that company better than Tony fucking Khan could.
It would be amazing since we tape on Wednesday, so Shane McMahon actually came back on Dynamite. But
If I'm speaking that into existence, I hope that means Tony Khan stepping the fuck aside. Not giving him a Christopher Daniels position.
let me mention one thing, then we'll move on.
Please.
Tony Khan at his at the scrum, at the media scrum,
The 2.5 hour media
mentioned
That's garbage.
mentioned about the working relationship with Collision and booking the TV shows on Collision. That compared to a year ago, it's a much easier creative process. Compared to a year ago, it's much easier to book the television shows.
Yeah, because the one guy that you made the show for isn't there anymore, and obviously the ratings took a shit too because of that. So, yeah, I'm glad it's easier for you, Tony. Is it easy to draw less than 1 million people every week on all of your shows combined? You fucking Mark.
All right.
Gotta get rid of that. Burn it. Burn it. Next fucking slide, please. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like it's making me upset. Like it's honestly bullshit, and it's not fair to these people because these talent think they're better than they are.
I know.
No one's actually giving them constructive criticism.
That's actually a fair point.
Swerve Strickland thinks he just had a 6.5 star match. He did fucking not. He can't talk. He was a fucking paper champion. He's not a 6.5 star guy. Sorry, not yet.
And
He's still young. He has time. But don't do this to him because
Yeah.
now he's gonna get a big fucking head. It's detrimental to the fucking roster when you feed their ego like this and are not fucking honest because of one show. Garbage.
That's a fair point.
Also, fucking garbage. That I can't watch shit anymore. But first, a word from our sponsor.
You can get that and everything else over at BA Sweet. A lot of great candy, a lot of quality tasting candy that you can get that's full of great smells right at BA Sweeties. You can definitely check it out. And it's a great time. And again, special hours on Labor Day. But they're open every single day, 24/7. The largest candy store in North America.
Yeah.
It's a great time. BA Sweeties. In fact, he agrees.
Slothy.
Yeah. He agrees. What does Slothy think about AEW?
My point exactly. No words.
You have words on your situation?
Yeah, fuck me in the ass, dude. Like, this is... So, my ex and I shared a YouTube TV account, and we have decided not to renew it. And by we, I mean her.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, I can't watch programming anymore, which is just fantastic. I have Peacock. I pay for Peacock by myself, so I can still see the pay-per-views.
So, do you pay for... So, we're gonna cut costs right now here. Do you pay for regular Peacock or Peacock Premium?
Premium.
Okay,
It's like $3 more a month.
So on the pay-per-views, you can see the promos. You don't
Yeah.
get the commercials.
Yeah.
So while you're watching the promos, I'm watching a commercial for Friends or something.
It's
whatever.
$3 a month, dude.
But hey, $3 add up every month. They add up. Okay, are you telling
Just
me?
cheapest motherfucker sitting
Are
next
you
to me.
telling me? Are you okay? How much do you watch ESPN?
I don't.
You do not watch ESPN. That's actually a very important answer.
Because I don't have YouTube TV anymore.
When you had YouTube TV, how much do you watch ESPN?
Not very much. I haven't watched sports in a while. Honestly.
Okay, cool. That's fair enough. Dude, get Sling the blue package. It's $35 a month, and probably if you sign up, the price might cut down for the first month or so anyway. And Sling Blue has USA Network, which this fall, that's all you need. It's USA Network.
I have to buy Netflix by January because I need to.
But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. See, streaming is a month-to-month process. It's where you're at. You don't have to commit to a contract. All you need for pro wrestling this fall is the USA Network, and for our job purposes, since we have to cover AEW, TBS.
I don't watch it. I just look at the reviews. And even then, my eyes are on fire when I read it, so I try not to stare too long at the paper. But, yeah.
And I'm sure you're a big AEW Collision fan, so you need TNT. But, again, all you need is the USA Network. And I know you don't watch too much sports anymore, but NFL Network, FS1, TBS, TNT, couple other networks, FX, whatever. But they have USA Network.
I mean, Peacock has, like, all the shows I watch, too. So, like, it kind of feels like I'm checking a lot of boxes, but now the only reason why I cared about YouTube TV was because I could watch Raw and SmackDown. And I had it set to record because I never watch them live.
They have DVR with Sling Blue.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to pay any money.
It's 30, but it's so you were paying. How much were you paying for YouTube TV?
We split it, so it
or
was
collectively together.
$30. So I'm actually paying more if I get Sling.
Well,
how's that, Mr. Hey, $5 is a lot. It adds up, man.
You don't need Peacock Premium. You do not need Sit there.
$2 difference is a lot, man.
Sit there and watch some commercials. Sit there and watch the commercials. You're not missing anything.
Even the money I'd save from that, I'd still be $2 more paying for Sling.
Oh my God!
You wanted to bitch at me for $3.
Do you want to do a job? All you need is USA Network this fall.
I could watch the fucking recap.
Dude. So I did that with this show for like 2 months. There are details that you miss. Do you have Hulu?
No, all I have is Peacock.
You don't get the episodes till like 30 days after. By that point, we moved on.
Listen, I have talked about AEW.
Should I pull the rundown from...
No, you shouldn't.
From July 29th?
No. What you should do is trust in the fact that I know what I'm talking about. Because how many times have I referenced things for AEW? I haven't watched a fucking Dynamite in like years. But I still know what's going on because it's simple.
For 5 years.
Yeah. You're making my fucking point for me. Like, I watched a couple episodes when it first started, and I haven't watched it since, but I can still talk about it and know what's going on because I'm active in reading things and keeping up on stuff. WWE, there's recaps, reviews, there's shit everywhere. I know where to find stuff. I read the rumors. I know what's going on. So I have a touch on it. If I can't afford to have cable for a little bit or to get Sling or to get YouTube TV, I will survive. In the moment, I'm just pissed off.
I understand that.
Because I wasn't expecting it. We didn't talk about it, all that stuff. So.
That's tough.
Yeah, I'm not mad or anything. I heard anything like that. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's tough. But think about this. For at least September, you take those $3 that you were paying for Peacock Premium.
All $3.
And you downgrade to regular Peacock. And you take those $3 and you put it into Sling Blue. And you can keep live wrestling because USA Network in September will have 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of NXT, and 2 hours of SmackDown.
When I move into my new place in the middle of September, I will consider it. But for now, I'm still at my mom's house for a few more weeks as we kind of get ready to move over, and she has cable, so I can watch everything out there. I just have to watch it live because they don't record it. So they have breathing.
Oh,
so
you would say like you couldn't watch it all.
I don't watch this shit live. I don't because I want to skip commercials.
You have obligations,
and I have my son and stuff too. Yeah. I don't want to fucking when he goes to bed now, I'm trying to like get to bed soon after that. Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to.
I will admit the 10 o'clock hour of Raw sometimes it's,
I like being able to turn the show on at 10 o'clock. and be able to just to watch everything and still end at 11:05 because I skipped all the commercials. So that's kind of cool for me.
Come January, Netflix still seems like it's a far, far way away.
It's not that bad.
You know.
Let's do this.
All right, let's go. We haven't done this in like 3 months.
3 words or less. I think that's a great idea. You still don't fucking want me to do it, but podcast, you have to talk. Whatever.
Overall thoughts at this moment of Gunther as World Heavyweight Champion. Is it a good reign so far?
Underwhelming. Yeah, that counts as 3 words technically. Hasn't really had a match yet, right? So he's been off TV too. He's missed time here and there. It's tough to have Randy Orton as your first match because we all want Randy to win.
I know.
So that's the part that's kind of shitty about it. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it'd be great to see Randy with that title again. It was the first title he won, his first major championship. He retired the title 10 years ago when he combined the WWE and World Heavyweight.
He referenced that on his promo the other day.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I didn't watch Raw, but I can still fucking know he said it. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I know what I'm doing here, okay? But
He is a professional.
I mean, I have to be. You're the star. I have to do all the fucking grunt work. I'm kidding. It's not at all how it goes. But no, I need to give it time. I understand it's a process. For now, it'll change. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. I'm not worried about Gunther. Honestly,
You actually indirectly answered the second rapid fire question, which was, do you want Randy Orton to win?
oh fuck yeah, oh fuck yeah. There's 3 words.
Man.
Absolutely, I want him to win. Are you kidding me? That'd be great. Break that tie with Triple H. Fucking suit.
Do you like this feud with Cody and Kevin Owens? Like, is this finally a good feud for Cody Rhodes away from the bloodline, indirectly away from the bloodline at this moment?
It's not a feud unless Kevin turns.
Do you want him to turn?
I don't give a shit.
I feel that way too.
He's in
that's
limbo.
That's actually the perfect answer.
I'm still pissed he's not NXT. They said he was going to go down there. So, whatever.
Speaking of which, when NXT moves to the CW, do they need to I have 2 NXT questions. Question 1, do they need to beef up NXT with more main roster superstars?
They already are.
Even more. Like, I know they're adding CM Punk for a show. They're
I think
Randy
Cody,
Orton
or
the
Randy's
week
going
after.
to a show, yeah.
But I mean, like, get like 3 or 4 guys or have somebody consistently down there.
Yeah, they'll do it. I wouldn't be surprised if you see AJ Styles down there at some point too, or something like that. They'll find a way to incorporate it.
And then, should NXT be held at arenas every week when they go to the CW?
No, they should be in the size of like the Wolstein Center. Whatever that seats. What is it, like 6,000-7,000?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I would even Performance Center still
As
as a home base.
I mean, you can go back there. Maybe you travel 2 weeks out of the month, and then you go home 2 weeks. I mean, there's a way to do it, but I mean, it would help if the talent down there got used to traveling too. So, I'm okay with either.
What can the WWE, and I guess more importantly AEW in this case, what can they learn from the independents, from what you saw this past weekend with Exodus? What can the top promotions learn from what we saw over the weekend?
Storytelling. I mean, just being able to give everyone, you kind of mentioned it before with the Attitude Era, everyone had a story. And even if it was silly, there wasn't like 14 silly things on the show. There was one thing. There was a guy that ran through the fucking crowd with a chainsaw. That was the only real silly thing that happened during the show. I mean, that's fine. You have room for that. One thing. Not half the show is not bullshit. Like, they need to learn that. I think WWE has gotten that a little bit better. They're still, and again, WWE's not perfect, but they're a little bit better. They're going in the right direction. They have been for some time. AEW is going in the opposite direction, catering to the hardcore fans and people that just don't care, about anything else besides wrestling, which is not good. You're not going to bring more people in. You're going to keep the same numbers. Or anything, you're going to lose people because God forbid you piss them off. They're so vindictive and angry that they want to just fucking, well, fuck you then. I don't want to watch you anymore. So,
Uncle Howdy made his debut.
Yeah.
Man, that was special. It was special. I didn't really have a question out of it. Just Uncle Howdy in the ring. Just what a moment. Your thoughts on Uncle Howdy his in-ring debut, was it booked properly? Did you like the match itself? Chad Gable's performance. What was your thoughts?
I'm concerned.
Ooh, we might have to pin that for next week. What are you thinking?
I want to know what's next. They need to leave Chad Gable behind now. I imagine that's probably what some of this was, unless they're planning on doing some sort of PLE bad blood thing for them. But
it felt like that finish was the end to that feud. We hope.
I really want to know who they're going to target next, because it needs to be somebody big.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be Randy Orton, Braun Strowman, one of the guys that are considered upper tier mid-card or main event guys. Chad's done a great job building himself up. He'll be in the conversation for the IC title, for the World Heavyweight title soon enough. But they need to go after someone established who has ties to Bray, who's made mistakes, who's done things. It's a very short pool to draw from. I'm curious to see what's next. They need to hit on it, because nostalgia only lasts so long. And listen, we love Bray. I love Bo. I think he's phenomenal at what he does. I love the idea. We've been following it since it started, and it's been something I paid attention to closely. Me as a fan, they need to hit on this next person.
Mm-hmm.
They need to keep the momentum going, because you can go one wrong direction and it can derail an entire fucking story.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it before. Like, the way they debuted was this utter destruction backstage in the locker room, and yeah, they zeroed in on Chad Gable. But I'll be honest, I kind of thought they would have a bigger presence on the show. I understand Triple H is trying to manage, not go overkill. But I think Kyle is 100% spot on here. Now it's the time where, all right, it's clear that they're, at the moment, I think they're baby faces going forward. Now it's time to get somebody big and strike.
Yep.
And strike hard. I think that's a huge, huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, there's one group on Raw that I'm trying to talk myself into saying, oh, this clicks. It clicks. And in my opinion, it ain't clicking. And that is the...
Oh.
No, that's the Sonya Deville group.
Oh, Pure Fusion Collective? Right?
Yeah.
Who's naming these groups now?
Say it ain't all perfect.
PFC sounds better than Pure Fusion Collective if you just, shorten it.
I think Graves said it a couple times. They might roll with that, actually. Who knows? It's just not clicking.
Is Joe Tessitore going to roll with that when he takes over?
And here they come.
By the way, I just want to say one thing to WWE. Man, that was shitty to do Corey Graves like that. I know he likes working with Michael, and it's not going to be permanent, but, he was doing a really good job on SmackDown. And now to basically, okay, you're back on color. That sucks. That really does. I would put Tessitore and Cole together. And then leave Barrett and fucking Corey Graves alone. Leave them alone. They're doing a good job.
They're doing a great job. They were doing a great job on SmackDown.
So.
One of my surprises of 2024 is how well that commentary team has gelled over on SmackDown. I didn't think they would bring anybody in.
The only way I'm okay with it is if they eventually lead to McAfee coming back and Graves and McAfee have a match at WrestleMania. That's the only way I'm okay with it.
Well, the way it looks right now, McAfee will be back for that. Cole and McAfee will be back together
on Raw in January for Netflix.
Yeah. But then Tess, Graves,
and Barrett are going to go to SmackDown.
That's a 3-man crew. And again, WWE has tried for years to find a number 2 voice behind Michael Cole.
They fucking have it.
But indirectly, they found him. But he's going to be sitting next to Michael Cole this fall over on SmackDown.
Whatever.
But who knows? But that's rapid fire. Oh, real quick. Would you be interested in seeing SmackDown go to 3 hours?
No.
If Raw on Netflix goes back to 2.
No. 3 hours is too long for a wrestling show. 2 hours is chef's kiss. Perfect.
All right. So there we go. There's rapid fire. There was oh, now I remember. John Cena, when he was on with Shannon Sharp. Great interview, by the way.
I watched half of it and I fell asleep, but it's really good.
Yeah. But
it was late.
Yeah. But he addressed winning the 17th World Championship. And he mentioned, it's like, well, technically, I have not won a singles match since 2018. In theory, if he were to, in his ideal world, in order for him to really qualify for Championship 17,
Win the Rumble.
he would really, in a perfect world, have to work from December and from January and work all the way and build himself to December, where he would finally get the opportunity.
Yeah, well, he's full of shit.
I know. He's, but he also mentioned that
It's almost like he's an actor.
Sounds like he does this for a living.
Huh.
About is this ideal? I guess. Does he need championship number 17?
I think it'd be nice if he could send off for him. I think it's lining up because right now with the Rumble, we don't really know where we're going with it. It feels like Punk and Rollins are going to be a thing around that time. Again, hopefully this time CM Punk stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's going to be a championship involved with that, though, unfortunately. It may just have to be Punk settling for another match.
Might be.
At least he'll be on the card this time, hopefully. Yeah. We know Cody's probably going to get either The Rock or Roman. I mean, Gunther's needs an opponent, and if Brock ain't going to be back by then, I mean, Cena winning that third Rumble would be pretty special. Puts him in the category with Stone Cold. Elevates him to even further GOAT status. He gets an opportunity in Las Vegas to win that World Championship and get number 17, the same title Ric Flair held. I mean,
then I wonder if he loses at Mania if they go that route.
I don't know. I think it'd be that moment would be unbelievable.
It would be.
And Gunther at that point would have been champion for what? How many months? 8 months? 9 months?
9 months.
Something like that. Yeah. So it's a pretty damn good run. 9 months with the championship is. Not everyone can have a 4-year run. I mean, 9 months is damn good. Gunther held the IC title for what? What was it? A year and a half?
666 days.
Yeah, almost 2 years. I mean, he's.
Speaking of, I know we don't do this segment anymore. Who needs to step up? But he needs to step up.
Yeah, I'm not panicking. I'm just saying.
It's just it maybe not. I don't know if he particular needs to step up, or the booking needs to step up around him, the presentation. I don't know. It feels like to me something is off.
The problem with Gunther is the stories haven't been great.
Yeah.
With him, it's been the matches. It's kind of like your little slice of AEW in WWE, except Gunther can actually talk and he can do things. But it's very much like, hey, we're building to a match. It's all about the match. There's not a lot of back and forth. It's always shots at the family and shit now, whatever. It's kind of one trick pony type stuff from Gunther. That's why it's the number 2 championship. It's not number 1.
It just seems like to me, ever since King of the Ring, when he's been off of television,
he missed a lot of time.
It's just he was so hot.
So
hot.
Yeah.
Winning the King of the Ring and the story that's built in with this match.
Well, his Intercontinental title run was great too because he had great matches and all that stuff.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
but it took time. So let's not jump to the gun here. He's been champ for maybe 5 minutes, maybe 6. So I mean, we'll let him cook a little bit, as the kids say nowadays.
Usual Suspects. That's the next show for Exodus Pro if you're interested. And that's the address, the same place as before here locally.
Tree Lawn Music Hall over on Waterloo.
So
beautiful Cleveland, Ohio.
Something that EC3 told us a little after, in the past they've done events every month, and they're cutting back a little bit, and now going, they had the live event last week,
like a month
not
and a half.
Another one until November.
Time to build. Make sure you're watching social media, seeing all the stories develop as they kind of round out that card.
That's something, again, the storytelling and stuff. And the cool thing is, as the opportunity presents itself, we will have some of their talent come on the show, and they're open to it. Also, we would be remiss if we didn't mention as well, hey, AEW is going well as well. So definitely, local wrestling, I think it's very important. We both believe it's very important to support local professional wrestling. You're a wrestling fan. They really have to tell stories, especially because it is, could be your first show that you're viewing.
Yep.
And you're jumping into the story, or your 10th, and you can be a regular. BA Sweeties, that's where you want to check out. You want to be a regular here. Get candy and whatnot. And Labor Day weekend, special hours. You do not want to miss this special hours. They are open on Labor Day, so definitely check it out. The putt-putt, the sodas, the candy store, all of it. Get all the candy in the world. You deserve it. And you deserve to smell the store, too. All the BA Sweeties.
Smells good.
Smells phenomenal. Great, great stuff.
Shit. Oh, yeah, we have 2 games coming up. Good fucking God. Can we talk to Steve about this?
We only got to do this, I think, 3 times this year.
So I looked at the schedule. One, it was out of order a little bit, so I'll talk to Pete about that in a second. But,
I think Pete fixed his version.
Okay. My graphic that I saved still says that
we got to fix
the game on the 22nd of October is before the game on the 18th. But never.
He fixed it.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of doubleheaders. I like the teams. Obviously, it's going to be great games, but it's hard. It's hard to get coaches on short weeks and stuff.
It's more prep, but it's a good time though. It will be. This comes out Thursday.
If you want to hear me not swear, make sure you.
This comes out on Thursday. We'll be here tonight. We'll be there tonight. So, watch us and then head on over. They got a great stadium, by the way. Great Lakes Chiefs Stadium. Really nice stadium. And then we'll make the drive to Painesville tomorrow. So definitely check that out. And then, I can't. These games will be great next week. It's going to be something special. But we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
We will also talk, there it is, CVC TV, Voice of the Land. They had a big guest last night, so you don't want to miss out on that. They're on live every Wednesday night at 8. And we're on live, or we're on tape every Thursday. We are on tape every Thursday morning. So we would imagine that when you watch this, that AEW Dynamite put on the greatest show that they've ever produced.
Why do you keep saying it? Good God. I'm going to switch the genre of this podcast.
To what?
I don't know. Anything besides talking about AEW. Let's talk about kangaroos. I don't know. Just
when they compete in a 60 kangaroo gauntlet match that Dave Meltzer rates as a 8-star classic, we will talk about kangaroos.
Oh, the way the one jumped in the other pouch and kicked the other one in the face. Oh.
Storytelling, baby. Storytelling.
He can literally suck the fattest dick in the history of the universe, and it wouldn't be fat enough to fill that stupid fucking mouth he has. Uncle Fester looking motherfucker.
Have a great day. We'll join you from Bookshire later on tonight.